How are you, sir?
Marvelous. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can. I can hear you and
Good.
see you. How are you?
Wonderful. We just had dinner downtown at Guad's.
Okay, all right. I haven't been there. I just really moved to Portsmouth recently.
Uh-huh.
Uh oh, congratulations. I know it's late, but congratulations on your win.
Thank you.
Yes.
It was
So,
close. It was 33 votes.
really? Well, praise the Lord. He got you through.
Got me
So
through.
so let's just be honest here. How were you received by the council?
Well, the council changed with the election.
Right,
How do I say this? I got to learn to say things politically correct now. I can't say
yeah,
them like a doctor says to their patient anymore.
right.
But it's a lot quieter now than it was before.
Okay. And we'll
The
leave it at
people that
that.
I'm working with on the council are a joy to work with. Everybody has a different talent, a different
Mhm.
approach, and it's not that we agree to disagree. It's even better than that. It's that we look at different perspectives now and see how we can all get to the same goal.
Okay, well, that makes it a lot easier, doesn't it?
Oh, it's so much better. Um, and if I had a choice to say, do I want to change anybody out with the next election? The answer is no. I want to keep the guys I've got working with.
Okay, okay. I got to ask questions that I know people want to ask. When is the next election?
Uh, I believe it's in November, isn't it? Yeah, this November because we're doing primary elections right now.
Okay, all right.
So
Now that the
the Democratic primary is going on right now. So if you have any listeners that are Democrat that haven't voted yet, they need to go down to the polls. There's
right,
early voting going on right now down at 801 at the city building.
uh, do you now that the country has voted which way they want to go? Do you see that as being a little easier for you to do stuff on a local level?
No, actually, I think it's going to be a little more difficult right now. We're struggling with the state and feds over canceling a lot of programs that they've um, promised in the past, but
Hmm.
uh, are holding back at the moment. So a lot of our finances are going to be in question until the current administration kind of gets their wheels going in the direction they're going to go. But I think
Well, you
most
know,
countries waiting on that too.
well, the thing is, it seems like it's been a long time, but it's only been 100 and few days.
Yeah, it hasn't been long. So, but,
No,
but we're all waiting to see where they're going to go.
you and I. So let's talk about, I guess, the pros and cons of what you have experienced. I read that you said the lack of participation.
Right. One of the things we need to do to fix Portsmouth, I don't think people realize it, but how far in the hole we are. But after all of our department presentations, the budgets they've given us are sort of minimal. Let's patch things together and move on. It's not a budget where we say let's fix things.
Mm,
When they fix things, we have what we call a CIP budget that goes on top of normal maintenance. That means
right.
capital improvement programs to really make things work smooth and buy the things they need to work. We're still working in like a 1990s computer system
Really?
downtown, and it's just unacceptable to have people to work with an archaic system like that. So um, when we add up all those numbers that the departments have given us, we're $3 billion in the hole. And
Three
yes,
billion.
we can give them a budget on how to operate the city, but
Mm,
it's only just getting by. And I know if you own a house, you don't want to just get by. You want to have the house that works. It's not breaking down on you all the time.
right,
And right
right.
now, the city just doesn't have the money to make it work. And so the question is, how can we restructure things to get things working? And one of the big things we need is people to, how do I, I'm not a politician, so I don't know how to say things right, but we need to have people stop whining and start participating.
That's right.
Um,
Say it. Say it.
I don't, probably shouldn't be that direct on it. Um, but just do little things like report things, write it up, get it to the city, even if the city doesn't respond.
Mm,
Um, get the information to us. There's an app called C-Click Fix that you can log in things when you see like derelict houses or leaking water or sewers that don't drain.
Right.
We need to know about those things so that we can start to get the departments aware of them and aware of what they need to get done and how they need to structure their budgets. But right now, the citizen participation is at an all-time low. Everybody thinks that, oh, well, I voted for you, you fix it. And I'm like, no, that's not how my granddaddy did it. My granddaddy, when we needed the streets swept, he swept it. He didn't complain about it. When it didn't work, he went out and fixed it.
Right.
And so we need people to kind of have that little more attitude of, hey, listen, how can I help to fix this, rather than I voted for you, you need to fix it.
Is there a plan to create more participation?
There's one thing I think we need to work on is communicating with the citizens for that need. Okay. But there's so many people that feel like there's an attitude of entitlement where, like I said, I voted for you, you fix it. And I'm like, in order to get by with this money that we have, that's not going to work.
It's going to take the community. When do you have city council meetings to the public? When do you have
second and fourth Tuesday at 7:00 is the public meeting, but the working meeting where we get to really talk about things starts at 5:00. Okay. And if you really want to find out what's going on, come to the 5:00 meeting. And then all we do at the 7:00 meeting is vote on things that's already been discussed.
Okay. And where do you announce that so the public will know when this stuff is going on?
The city announces it on their website and they have to publicize it, I believe. But you can go on the city website and see everything that's going to be on the agenda at least the day before.
Okay. Okay. And do you, that thing that you the crime deal here, because the only way you're going to get businesses to invest in this area is to reduce crime. What is the plan for that?
That's exactly right. The only way we're going to get more business is if we can get crime down. Nobody wants to invest in a crime-laden city. Right now, the previous administration before us formed a crime committee, and so the two things we're doing is we stepped up the funding to the police department to see if we can staff up. There's a gentleman that you need to talk to, Daryl Redmond, who just joined the crime committee, the gun and violence committee. And there's a couple of different aspects in order to reduce crime. One is enforcement. So we have authority over that. And so we've stepped that up a little bit. But there's social issues that need to be solved too, that come along with poverty. And right now we are a poverty-stricken city. The big line behind that is you can't tax the poor to feed the poor. It can't be done.
Right.
So one of the statistics that jumps out about our city is if you look at rich housing, in other words, your measurement of how many rich people you have in your city, because rich people are the ones you want to tax in order to feed the ones that need it.
Right.
The national average for rich people is 17%. You want to guess at what Portsmouth has as far as rich people goes? Give me a guess.
What? Oh Lord, I couldn't even imagine. What is it?
Less than 1%.
Are you serious?
I'm dead serious. We have less than 1% rich housing in this city. And people think we have rich people. And I'm like, no, we don't. The national average is 17%. And if we don't have 17%, we're not getting the tax base that we need in order to support the crime and social things. So it's kind of a connected, like you said, you can't get business till you get crime down. Gosh, I can't remember Daryl's 4 points of what we need to do for crime. I'm in the car right now and I apologize, but Mr. Redmond has it all lined out. We just appointed him to the crime committee, and I think he's going to be a jewel to have in there to understand how we can do a 4-pronged approach to crime.
All right. And is everybody on the council basically on the same page as dealing with crime?
Right. We had a retreat, and they asked everybody on the council, what's the number one thing? What's the number one thing that you want to attack? And every single member put number one as crime.
Okay.
So we've given that as a priority to our city manager. I don't think people always understand that we don't manage the city. We just give direction, and the city manager manages the city. So whenever we have a complaint, we can't solve it. We have to go through the city manager to get things solved. Like if there's a water main leak, I can't fix it. I can't go to that department. I have to go through the city manager and say, hey, here's a problem, write it up and give it to him and let him go through the department to solve it.
Okay, and now I got to take a break here to give you my pet peeve.
All right.
No one knows when you guys have a okay. No one knows really. I wish you would when you have a city council meeting. People aren't ordered enough to go on the website, find out. They're not going to do that. I mean, is there a way you could maybe put it in at least the library or make posters and put it different places in the city?
I've thought about that, about better communication. That's one of the issues that I had when I was sitting in the audience, was better publicity and communication around the city. We don't have a great method of doing that. If you have a method of doing that, I'd like to know. One of the ideas I keep toying around with is in front of every school, fire station, city building, billboard. But the cost of that is not something that I see happening in this budget. But yes, you are exactly right. Communication is a big issue, and the only thing we can keep doing without having the money to communicate is just tell everybody it's the same. It's the second and fourth Tuesday of every month.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, well, I'm just saying it wouldn't cost as much to put posters like in hospitals, at bus stops, places like that where the community is, in the stores, libraries, and just have a poster of what time the next meeting is.
Right.
In our churches, they got something. They instead of arguing amongst yourselves, bring what your issue there. But I'm just saying, I'm not hearing anything. Tell the people I want to hear some noise, and I gave you mailing posters to these different places because that's where the people are. I've spoken. I'm done.
I'm with you. Communication, and how we do it. I don't know how we get, because there's 105 churches in the city.
Well,
The only way we could get something to them would be to email it. There's no way we could physically distribute it.
What that's and then they could just print it out.
Yeah.
Yeah. Email it right to the pastor. I mean, just put it blank. If you want to be heard, come to this meeting.
Yeah.
If you don't come, then you have nothing to complain about. Put it to them just like that. See, instead of trying to take everything to you guys and putting it on there.
I know we generally have the same people show up to the meetings every single time. It's the same group over and over and over.
You also mentioned about paying less minimum wage. Could you talk about that?
Yeah, being in city council, I don't know if anybody does it for the money, but right now it's I calculated it out. I'm getting paid about $9 an hour to do this job. And I had a gentleman look at me and say, well, I paid you and you're getting paid for that. And I'm like, I'm more doing this because I want to see the city do better. I'm not doing this for the money. To have somebody think that $9 an hour is worth my time, I could work.
Yeah.
A couple hours a week at my normal job and make a lot more money. I think people that do this, and the people that I see on the council, let me tell you about the people on the council. That is a bunch to work for the money that they're getting paid for. Mm-hmm. Their interest, when I look at what their interest is and are they looking for personal gain? I don't see anybody on that council there's some people that were looking, how can I get this to get me more money or me more prestige or me more job? And there's nobody there now. The only person that might be looking for a higher elected office might be Mr. Tillage. But if he looks for a higher office, I'm darn sure going to support him because he's incredibly intelligent and presents his arguments well and helps us to understand his perspective. And as far as the rest of them, the service of love that they're doing for the city. And it really disturbs me when somebody looks at it and say, well, you're getting paid to do it. It's like, no, we're not.
Yeah. Wow. Let's see. The internet is a little funny. Do you hear me? The internet is frozen. I'm sorry. Let's see. Let's see. I think he's driving too. I think he's driving. We'll see what we can do to get him back in a minute. Because we definitely want to talk to him about the good things that he's doing. We are talking to, of course, Dr. William Dodson Jr., Councilman of Portsmouth, and we will try to get him back as soon as we can. He went out, and hopefully he'll come back in, and we will continue. Until then, we got Slim and the Supreme Angels, Don't Leave Me, Lord, and we'll monitor him, of course. As soon as he gets back, we will all right, he's back. Let's get right to him. All right, let's get right back to bringing him back on. All right, welcome back. Welcome back. You're driving.
Hey, there we go. We had a disconnect there.
It must have been the area. It must have been the area. Let's talk about the good things.
Must have been the connection, yeah.
Let's talk about the good thing that's going on.
Well, the good things are this council is fantastic to work with. There's nice people there. They're not interested in a lot of personal gain. Like I said, they're interested in doing what's good for the city. And that's different than I think we've had in the past. There's no arguments. There's people expressing their point of view, explaining it. I don't think we've had an argument yet with the council.
So, what is the council saying about the waterfront? How are we on that, and how far away are we from it happening?
Well, there's two projects for the waterfront. What they call the old Holiday Inn site,
right?
Is one project that we're working on, and they're working on an RFP to see in today's business world what would be the best use of that property. So as soon as we get that RFP, we'll be able to give us the best use of that property. Then we can decide, do we like that plan? There's already been, I want to say 3 RFPs for that.
Right.
Already. But they were old. Oh, that light's not going to be able to work, is it? They were old, and they didn't work in today's economy. So we have to understand what business ideas will work in today's economy to generate. And like I said, we have a poor real estate market in our city. So one of the things that I know I'd love to see with that site down there at the Holiday Inn site is some higher income housing to give us a better tax base in the city. Get some rich people in here and tax the dickens out of them.
How are you going to do? I mean, how would you do that?
Well, we have the idea. We can provide the direction, and that's where we're waiting for the RFP. Request for proposals is what that stands for.
Right.
Say what works in today's economy, because I can tell you how to do root canals, but as far as the economics, I think we better leave that to the people who know the economics and let them give us the choices. And because we live here, let us decide what fits in our community.
All right. All right.
Well, like I would not dare to get up and do heart surgery, even though I'm a doctor. I wouldn't do heart surgery, and I wouldn't dare to get up on the pulpit and preach about Jesus right now. I can tell my story and my testimony, but I'm not the expert. And I leave that to the people who can lead us to Jesus and the people who can do heart surgery better than me.
So what's for you after being on the council? Are we going further up?
Say again?
Are we going further up politically after council? I mean,
Oh, no, 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 absolutely not.
No.
No, I have no desire to. I'm too old. I want to enjoy some time with the grandkids. I was supposed to be retired now, and the only reason I ran was because things were so bad in city council. I said we had to stop. We just had to set a different direction. And so at this point, if we set a good enough direction, I want to step back and see if we can get competent people to continue on. If they need me for another term, I'll do another term. But I'm too old to keep doing this. Way too old. So if I do run, it's going to be a 2-term max, and then grandkids all the way.
Oh, okay. Too old. Okay. Have you looked at who? Oh, I ain't going there. Anyway, the average age of
for future elections. And right now, to tell you the truth, I want to keep the people that we've got in there. I'd like to keep Mr. Tillage is up for election, Mr. Hugel's up for election, and Mr. Moody is up for election. And I can tell you from committees I've worked on before, I want to keep these people because we can make things work.
Okay. All right. All right. Well, you got a mayor, and how is it working? How is it working with the mayor?
The mayor is a unique personality. He's a great spokesperson, promoter. And you need all kinds of people on a team to make the team work. You can't have everybody the same.
Right.
And he is a very good speaker. He can reach out to the public. He's a great face for us. And behind his face, we need people who are doers and analyzers and people who understand different aspects of the population. And I think we have a nice, diverse group in there. We've got Mr. Hugel, who is an ex-admiral and knows how to do administration and how to get through some of the things that, on committees and politically that the rest of us who've run businesses don't understand. And those that us have run businesses can bring in a perspective that's, how aggressive and say, we need to move a little faster with this. And so the diversity that we have on the council is magnificent. There's not a bad word I could say about anybody on the council. We all have our talents.
Well, sounds good. You've been in there what 100 days or so?
Yeah, just January, February, March, April, May, 5 months.
Yeah, 5 months. That's not that. Yeah. So we caught up to now, and of course we're gonna have you back. Of course, if something happens that you really need to put out there, because you say the media, they edit and they twist stuff, and we're not gonna do that. If we edit some of my mistakes or something. We won't edit none of yours. Yeah. That's a lot of editing. But before we go, I'm going to let you just vent or say whatever has been on your mind about whatever and whoever. The floor is yours. There will be no interruption until you're through.
Oh, no, I'm going to stick with you on the media because we've said everything good about the city. And some of the bad things is that, we just don't have the money to do the things. But you're right. The media is one of our hindrances right now, that they're always looking for sensation. And I've just had to stop talking with all of them, except for the ones that I know are interested in the truth. And that's why I consented to be on your show, because you're good and your audience is good. And the kind of people that we want to talk to are the ones that participate, the ones that believe there's good out there. Christians, I can say that.
Amen. Amen.
Yes, Christians.
I like that. Amen.
We got back in city council. We finally got prayer back in there.
Yeah.
And any pastors that want to come in and introduce the meetings, we have a couple of slots still open throughout the year for people to come in and help us pray to start the meetings.
Okay. All right. Pastors, y'all heard that. Come on in and do your thing.
Right, you just call the mayor's office and tell Deborah what date you want to speak.
Okay, that'll work. Is there a number?
Yes, there is, but I can't get to it because I'm talking to you right now. It's on my phone.
That's okay. That's okay. That's okay.
Let's go. Just Portsmouth Mayor, Portsmouth, Virginia. You got to put Virginia in there, otherwise you get New Hampshire. Portsmouth, Virginia Mayor's telephone, and it'll come right up.
All right, you all heard it. Anything else? Let it all out.
I'm hoping we got it all out. Thanks for having me on. This is really nice to have somebody pleasant in the media to talk with.
I appreciate you, and like I said, if it's something even I don't know about, or you're not aware about, and you want to have be heard without mess, just let me know, because we're gonna edit this from the whole show and put it out there, and so everybody can hear what you have to say.
Thank you.
You got it. All right, then. I appreciate you. Call me if you need me.
All right, call me again, and we'll set up another one whenever you like.
All right, then. Thank you so much.
Thank you.